Back in the early 2000s, there was this trend of Linkin Park songs edited to clips of Dragon Ball Z. Two seemingly different pieces of media mashed together for some reason. I never really paid much attention to Linkin Park or Dragon Ball Z as separate pieces of media, but when mixed together, it always caught my eye. This style of video, known as an anime music video, or AMV for short, wasn't something professionally produced by the band. It was entirely fan-made as part of a growing community of, I'll say, proto-content creators. But how or why did these catch on? Why were they so popular? I mean, obviously Linkin Park was one of the biggest bands of that era. However, I don't think we can attribute the popularity of these videos solely to Linkin Park. There were plenty of videos edited to a plethora of other bands from that era, like Evanescence or Creed. And there were often other anime used besides Dragon Ball Z, so what's the deal here? I believe the popularity of these AMVs stem more not from Linkin Park or Dragon Ball Z, but from the emerging internet culture of the early 2000s.
We're riding on the internet.
If I were to summarize this time period of the internet, I would characterize it by two things: unfiltered creative expression and rampant file sharing. This was a wild time to be online for creative people. No algorithms, no analytics, no Google AdSense, nothing to dictate what art, or dare I say content, should or shouldn't be.
All your days don't belong to us. All your days,
This was also a time where editing tools made the transition to a digital, non-linear workflow. Programs like Windows Movie Maker or Macromedia Flash were available to anybody, and this sort of democratized the whole process of making entertainment. What resulted was some of the most unhinged pieces of art we'd ever seen, and perhaps haven't seen since. File sharing played a huge role in how people interacted with this type of fringe entertainment. People would download tons of stuff illegally from sites like Kazaa or LimeWire. In some cases, file sharing was the only way you could even see a particular anime. And this also helped people acquire the software needed to make these AMVs. Sure, you could use Windows Movie Maker to edit, but why use that when you could use something a little more professional like Vegas Video? Let me set the stage for you. You're a 15-year-old kid in 2002, hyped up on Pepsi Blue, hunched over an 18-inch compact computer monitor. Kazaa is open up with 10 seconds left to download Vegas Video 3.0, and you have two folders open on your desktop, one marked Hybrid Theory, the other marked DBZ, with full episodes of the Frieza saga that you just downloaded illegally. Now, upon installing Vegas 3.0, what do? Do you start with an emotional Vegeta redemption arc set to the tune of In the End? Or maybe you go with Crawling, edited to clips of Goku's first Super Saiyan transformation? Guys, I don't know shit about Dragon Ball Z, so if I got any of that right, please congratulate me in the comments. Now, that kid wasn't me, but I can remember being that age, seeing these videos edited in front of me. We had a house guest when I was young. He stayed with us for many years. A friend of my older brother. He just needed a place to stay, so he stayed with us. He was obsessed with making these kinds of videos. He poured hundreds, if not thousands, of hours into making AMVs, strictly for the entertainment of complete strangers on the internet. Seeing this kind of dedication to an art form, learning that you could actually just make stuff yourself, and that people would watch it, it was revolutionary to my 15-year-old brain, and made me think about pursuing my own creative endeavors. And while I didn't go on to make my own AMVs, I do think that the AMV community might actually have been the reason that I started making my own videos. So, bringing this back to Linkin Park and Dragon Ball Z, it's easy to see how thousands of these videos existed in this era. The music of Linkin Park, at its core, is about personal struggle, pain, and I think this pairs easily with the visuals of Dragon Ball Z. Mix these two things together and, of course, you've got the undivided attention of a whole generation of young millennials.